Everyone says buying a home in Britain is impossible, that you'll need a lifetime of saving just to afford a deposit. But what if I told you there are entire towns where you can buy a house for less than the price of a used car? Places where 3-bedroom homes list for £40,000 and no one's bidding. It sounds like a scam, but it's not. These towns are very real. Some are fading remnants of Britain's industrial past. Others are neglected coastal gems fighting for a comeback. But they all have one thing in common: property so cheap it feels unreal. The question isn't can you afford it, it's whether you should. Because behind every bargain is a reason it's so cheap. And by the end of this list, you'll see why some of these deals might actually be ticking time bombs. Let's dive in. Barrow-in-Furness feels like the edge of Britain, a peninsula town surrounded by sea and shipyards. Once a proud industrial hub, it's now one of the cheapest housing markets in the northwest. The average home sells for around £145,000, with 2-bedroom terraces dipping below £80,000. BAE Systems' submarine plant still anchors the local economy, but beyond that, opportunities are limited. Its remoteness makes it less attractive for commuters, and population growth remains flat. Yet there's quiet potential. Barrow's coastal regeneration and renewable projects hint at recovery. It's affordable and authentic, but for buyers, it's a waiting game, not a quick win. Blackpool is the definition of British nostalgia. Bright lights, arcades, and low property prices. Average homes cost around £140,000, and you can still find small flats for under £60,000. Once the country's entertainment capital, the town now wrestles with unemployment and high vacancy rates. Entire rows of old guest houses have been converted into cheap rentals. Yet, government funding and town centre redevelopment are slowly reviving the area. Behind the crumbling seaside charm, there's long-term potential for those who can see beyond the decay. Blackpool's prices are low for a reason, but so was Brighton's once upon a time. Bolton combines big city access with small-town affordability. 30 minutes from Manchester, it offers homes at nearly half the price. The average sits near £190,000, with terraces starting around £95,000. The town's textile days are long gone, but new logistics and retail investments are keeping the economy afloat. Ongoing regeneration of the town centre and Bolton College of Medical Sciences could give the area a second wind. It's not booming yet, but it's stable, and stability at this price point is rare. For families and commuters, Bolton remains a practical, low-risk foothold in the Greater Manchester area. Bradford, once the wool capital of the world, is one of the UK's youngest, most diverse, and most affordable cities. The average property price sits near £185,000, and 2-bedroom terraces still go for around £90,000. Regeneration is accelerating ahead of its City of Culture 2025 status, which could attract new investment. However, poverty and unemployment remain major hurdles. For now, Bradford is a tale of two cities, a forward-looking centre surrounded by struggling districts. The upside: massive affordability and strong rental yields. For long-term buyers, it's a sleeping giant, waiting for the cultural spotlight to do its work. Burnley is northern grit at its purest, a former mill town with prices frozen in time. Average homes cost around £140,000. And older terraces routinely sell between £60,000 and £80,000. Despite a tough reputation, regeneration is gaining ground, especially near the Weaver's Triangle and along new transport routes. The local economy still faces challenges, but Burnley's low prices make it attractive for landlords chasing yield. It's not glamorous, but it's genuine, and one of the few places in England where home ownership remains attainable. Just don't expect rapid growth. Burnley's recovery will be measured in years, not months. Doncaster offers a rare mix of affordability and convenience. The average house sells for around £190,000, and terraces can still be found for under £100,000. The town's location, with direct rail to London in 90 minutes, adds appeal, but the local economy still leans heavily on logistics and manufacturing. As automation and cost pressures mount, job security remains uncertain. Regeneration and the Freeport project bring cautious optimism, but buyers should think long-term. Doncaster isn't booming, yet it's far from declining. A town in transition, where low prices and solid infrastructure quietly hint at a comeback. Grimsby's name once stood for Britain's fishing empire. Now it's shorthand for affordability. The average home costs around £140,000, but plenty of properties still go for under £70,000. The town has battled decline for decades, yet its offshore wind industry is injecting slow but steady renewal. While parts of Grimsby remain neglected, the Docks and Freeman Street areas are seeing investment trickle in. It's not a quick profit market, but for those looking to buy low and hold, the groundwork for recovery is visible. Grimsby's strength lies in its value. Real homes at unreal prices. Hartlepool's housing market feels frozen in another era, and the prices prove it. Average homes sell around £140,000, and two-bedroom terraces regularly list for £60,000 to £80,000. Once dependent on shipbuilding, the town has struggled to reinvent itself. While the Marina District shows signs of renewal, much of the surrounding housing stock remains undervalued and underloved. Employment opportunities are limited, but the area's affordability makes it appealing for first-time buyers and landlords seeking low-cost entry. Hartlepool offers extreme value, but it's a bet on slow, uneven progress. A recovery is possible, just not guaranteed. Hull is no longer the forgotten city it once was. Average property prices hover around £155,000, with plenty of homes still below £100,000. Its waterfront redevelopment, thriving university scene, and growing green energy sector have given Hull a new sense of identity. Yet economic inequality lingers, and some districts still suffer from neglect. For now, Hull remains one of England's most affordable cities with genuine long-term potential. It's not just cheap, it's evolving. If regeneration continues as planned, those bargain terraces could be tomorrow's smart investments. Is a small town wedged between Bradford and the Yorkshire Dales, scenic, affordable, and stubbornly slow to change. Average homes cost around £180,000, with two-bed terraces easily found for under £100,000. Once known for its textile mills, the town still struggles with limited job creation and outdated housing stock. Yet its rail links to Leeds and Bradford make it viable for commuters seeking lower costs. Keighley's charm lies in its simplicity. Solid rental yields, low entry prices, and quiet living. It's not a market of growth, but one of endurance, where affordability still defines the landscape. Middlesbrough sits at the heart of Teesside's comeback story, but it's still one of the most undervalued markets in England. The average house costs around £150,000, while many terraces list for £70,000 to £90,000. Once a steel and chemical powerhouse, the town suffered decades of decline, leaving behind rows of cheap, aging homes. Yet hope is returning. Regeneration projects like Teesworks and the Teesside Freeport promise new jobs and infrastructure. Still, most residents haven't felt that boost yet. Middlesbrough remains a wait-and-see market, full of potential on paper, but fragile in practice. Affordable? Absolutely. Stable? Not quite yet. Oldham lies just outside Manchester, but feels a world apart when it comes to house prices. The average home sells for around £200,000, with some terraces dipping under £100,000. Once a textile hub, Oldham has faced decades of economic stagnation, and unemployment rates remain above the national average. Yet its location gives it an edge. It's part of Greater Manchester's expanding commuter belt, and regeneration schemes are gaining traction. The Oldham Town Centre master plan promises a facelift, but confidence takes time. For first-time buyers priced out of Manchester, Oldham offers affordability, but it's still a value play. A growth hotspot. Rochdale offers the charm of the Pennines with Manchester access and some of the cheapest prices in the region. The average home costs around £210,000, but terraces regularly sell for £90,000 to £120,000. Once known for industry and hard graft, the town fell behind economically, though its story is shifting. Regeneration projects like Rochdale Riverside and improved tram connections are starting to change perceptions. However, income levels remain low, and certain districts continue to struggle with crime and neglect. For buyers, Rochdale is the definition of slow recovery. Promising location, steady yields, but growth that takes time to materialize. Scunthorpe's skyline is still dominated by steelworks, and so is its economy. Average house prices hover near £150,000, but homes under £100,000 are common. The town's dependence on heavy industry has left it vulnerable to layoffs and shifting global demand. Recent efforts to transition into green steel production may help, but for now, confidence remains muted. The market is cheap, but liquidity is low. Buyers can get in easily. Selling might be harder. Scunthorpe's affordability is unmatched in the East Midlands, but without significant economic diversification, those bargains may stay bargains for a long time. Stoke-on-Trent, known as the Potteries, still bears the legacy of its ceramics empire, and its affordability reflects it. The average home costs around £170,000, with terraces under £100,000 are still common. Regeneration in the city centre and retail sectors is giving Stoke new life, yet many neighbourhoods remain blighted by unemployment and underinvestment. However, its central location and good transport links attract renters and first-time buyers alike. It's a city of contrast, half renewal, half decay. But for investors seeking low-cost entry and decent yields, Stoke offers real potential. It's Britain's underdog housing market, quietly turning a corner. Sunderland's story mirrors that of many northern port cities. Big ambitions, small prices. The average home costs around £170,000, and smaller properties can still be found for under £90,000. Once driven by shipbuilding and car manufacturing, the city has been rebuilding its identity through education, tech, and coastal regeneration. Wigan sits perfectly between Manchester and Liverpool, offering small-town life with big city access and bargain prices. The average home costs around £200,000, while first-time buyers can still find terraces under £110,000. Once dominated by coal and cotton, Wigan has been quietly reinventing itself. Regeneration projects like Wigan Pier redevelopment and better rail connections are slowly boosting confidence. The town's affordability and location make it a strong rental market, but long-term growth remains tied to Manchester's success. Wigan isn't flashy. It's dependable, down-to-earth, and one of the last affordable pockets left in Greater Manchester. Workington sits on the Cumbrian coast, far from the Lake District's tourist glow. But equally rugged and beautiful. Average homes sell for around £150,000, with older terraces under £90,000. Its economy is modest, built on logistics and light manufacturing, both vulnerable to downturns. Population growth is stagnant, and youth outmigration remains a concern. Yet new housing schemes and infrastructure upgrades are offering faint signs of hope. Workington is a market defined by endurance, slow to move, but stable. For those seeking peaceful living or cheap investment, it's one of the last places in England where £100,000 still buys real space. Blaenau Gwent is one of Wales's most affordable regions, and one of its most overlooked. Average property prices sit near £140,000, with older terraces often listed for under £90,000. Once a coal mining powerhouse, the area was hit hard by industrial decline. Today, regeneration around Ebw Vale and new business zones are helping to stabilize the economy, but unemployment remains above average. The stunning Brecon beacons lie just beyond, offering scenery that far outshines its prices. Blaenau Gwent is a true paradox, economically fragile, yet visually rich. It's one of the few places where affordability and natural beauty still coexist. Merthyr Tydfil tells the classic Welsh story, a proud industrial past, an uncertain present, and a surprisingly affordable future. The average home costs around £160,000, with many terraces below £100,000. Port Talbot's skyline is defined by steelworks, but so are its property prices, low, smoky, and industrial. Average home values sit around £165,000, with terraces dipping below £100,000. The town's economy remains tied to the Tata Steel plant, which continues to face uncertainty due to automation and green transition pressures. Flood risks and coastal erosion add further challenges. Yet Port Talbot benefits from its location, close to Swansea and the M4, making it viable for commuters. For now, it's an affordable but risky bet. Great access, low prices, but a fragile local economy that still feels one downturn away from decline. Tony Pandy / Porth, Wales. Rhondda Cynon Taf, once the beating heart of Welsh coal country, remains one of the cheapest regions in the UK. Average homes cost around £155,000 and it's still common to find tidy terraces under £90,000. The area's deep valleys and close-knit communities give it charm, but job opportunities remain scarce. Younger generations continue to migrate toward Cardiff or Swansea for work, leaving behind an aging population and slow market movement. That said, affordable housing, breathtaking scenery, and strong community ties keep the region steady. It's not a market for quick profit, but one for peace, patience, and possibility. Number 23. Ayr is a seaside town that perfectly captures Scotland's contrasts: scenic beauty, historic charm, and an economy stuck in low gear. Average homes cost about £190,000, with older terraces available for under £110,000. Once a tourism hotspot, the area now faces weaker visitor numbers, rising insurance costs, and erosion risks along the coast. Employment remains heavily reliant on hospitality and public services. Yet Ayr retains its allure. Sandy beaches, golf culture, and proximity to Glasgow make it appealing for retirees and commuters alike. Prices are low, but so is growth. Ayr's value lies in lifestyle, not returns. Built as a post-war new town, Glenrothes was designed for industry and affordable living, and it still delivers the latter. Average home prices hover around £175,000, and many three-bedroom houses sell below £140,000. Once reliant on electronics manufacturing, the local economy never fully recovered after factory closures. However, steady public sector employment and improved transport links to Edinburgh have kept the market from collapse. Glenrothes offers space, value, and stability, even if it lacks glamour. It's not a boom town, but in uncertain times, its predictability and affordability make it one of Scotland's quietly dependable markets. Greenock sits on the River Clyde, a former shipbuilding titan turned bargain hunter's paradise. The average home costs just £130,000, making it one of Scotland's cheapest towns. But low prices reflect harsh realities: persistent unemployment, population decline, and aging infrastructure. The town's economy, based on logistics and light manufacturing, has struggled to evolve. Some parts of Greenock are seeing small-scale regeneration, but demand remains weak. Investors are drawn to its low entry costs, yet resale can be tough. For residents, affordability means ownership is possible, but appreciation is slow. Greenock is cheap, honest, and stubbornly stuck between past and potential. Irvine is another new town built on optimism, now tempered by time. Average homes sell for around £175,000, and there's no shortage of properties under £120,000. Once buoyed by manufacturing and shipping, the town's economy has shifted toward retail and services, leaving wage growth sluggish. Yet Irvine's coastal position and commuter links to Glasgow offer stability. The Rivergate Centre and harbourside developments have breathed some life back into the area, but economic momentum remains slow. For buyers, Irvine represents solid value and livability, but limited investment excitement. It's a safe bet in an unspectacular race. Kilmarnock blends industrial heritage with commuter convenience. The average home costs around £185,000, with semi-detached houses often under £130,000. Its proximity to Glasgow and ongoing regeneration around the town centre make it appealing for first-time buyers. However, the town still faces pockets of deprivation and declining high streets. Manufacturing closures hit hard, and while service jobs have filled some gaps, wages remain modest. Kilmarnock's draw is affordability with accessibility. You can live comfortably without overspending. It's unlikely to see explosive growth, but as far as livable, low-cost Scottish towns go, few balance value and connection as well as Kilmarnock. Motherwell once thrived on steel. Now it's sustained by commuters. Average homes cost around £190,000, and terraced houses can still be found for under £110,000. The town's location between Glasgow and Edinburgh makes it strategically ideal, supported by strong rail links. Yet the local economy remains modest, with manufacturing long gone and service work dominating. Motherwell's affordability and transport access give it stability, but its growth depends heavily on nearby city economies. For buyers, it's a reliable middle ground market, affordable, convenient, and unlikely to crash or surge dramatically anytime soon. Saltcoats, once a thriving seaside escape, now offers homes for the price of a small car. The average property sits near £160,000, with flats under £100,000. Its beach views and rail access to Glasgow keep it desirable, but the local economy is slow-moving and tourism-dependent. Many second homes sit empty off-season, and infrastructure investment has lagged behind. Still, for those seeking coastal living without coastal prices, Saltcoats remains one of Scotland's best-kept secrets. Its market won't make you rich, but it might buy you peace, and a sea view few can afford elsewhere. Number 30. Derry/Londonderry, County Londonderry, Northern Ireland. Derry, Northern Ireland's second city, carries deep history and surprising affordability. The average home costs around £175,000, with many terraces still selling for under £110,000. Once scarred by conflict and economic stagnation, Derry has seen new cultural energy and cross-border trade potential since Brexit reshaped Ireland's economy. The city's creative industries and universities are slowly fueling growth, but unemployment and infrastructure gaps persist. Still, Derry's charm, its walled city, river views, and youthful population make it one of the most promising affordable markets in the UK. Cheap, yes, but far from hopeless, Derry is quietly rebuilding its future. Before you rush to grab one of these so-called bargains, remember this: cheap doesn't always mean smart. Every low price hides a story: job losses, population decline, or industries that vanished decades ago. But within those same towns, there are opportunities for families searching for stability, for investors with patience, and for dreamers willing to rebuild what others walked away from. The question isn't, can you afford it? It's, can the town afford to recover? We're tracking the next wave of property shifts across the UK, town by town. Motherwell once thrived on steel. Now it's sustained by commuters. Average homes cost around £190,000, and terraced houses can still be found for under £110,000. The town's location between Glasgow and Edinburgh makes it strategically ideal, supported by strong rail links. Yet the local economy remains modest, with manufacturing long gone and service work dominating. Motherwell's affordability and transport access give it stability, but its growth depends heavily on nearby city economies. For buyers, it's a reliable middle ground market, affordable, convenient, and unlikely to crash or surge dramatically anytime soon. Saltcoats, once a thriving seaside escape, now offers homes for the price of a small car. The average property sits near £160,000, with flats under £100,000. Its beach views and rail access to Glasgow keep it desirable, but the local economy is slow-moving and tourism-dependent. Many second homes sit empty off-season, and infrastructure investment has lagged behind. Still, for those seeking coastal living without coastal prices, Saltcoats remains one of Scotland's best-kept secrets. Its market won't make you rich, but it might buy you peace, and a sea view few can afford elsewhere. Derry, Northern Ireland's second city, carries deep history and surprising affordability. The average home costs around £175,000, with many terraces still selling for under £110,000. Once scarred by conflict and economic stagnation, Derry has seen new cultural energy and cross-border trade potential since Brexit reshaped Ireland's economy. The city's creative industries and universities are slowly fueling growth, but unemployment and infrastructure gaps persist. Still, Derry's charm, its walled city, river views, and youthful population make it one of the most promising affordable markets in the UK. Cheap, yes, but far from hopeless, Derry is quietly rebuilding its future. Before you rush to grab one of these